It's 2025 and men are still acting like simps. Where are we?
Where are we?
Yeah, where are we? Men acting like simps in 2025. Men trying to buy the love of women, trying to buy the affection of women, try to buy sex from women.
So I think I need to clarify what a simp is.
Yeah,
Okay.
you do that.
Okay.
Let's clarify.
What a simp? So,
What is the definition?
a bit of background. Simp is an internet slang term for someone who shows excessive attention, deference,
Deference?
or sympathy to a person they are attracted to, often in the hope for gaining their romantic or sexual attention, even when it's not being reciprocated. So basically begging for someone's love.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is typically used to describe men being overly submissive to women. Though the term can be applied much broadly. What it can be a playful or mocking term, it can also be used insultingly. So basically, a simp is another word for a synonym of beg, in it.
Yeah, for a beg. If you have to beg for a woman's love, you have to buy a woman's love, you are a simp. And it is an insult, don't get me wrong, but I think we need to call it out.
Is it better being a simp or a cuck?
The fuck? I mean,
They're both pretty bad, aren't they?
both are pretty bad. I guess so. We need to find the technical definition of a cuck, which probably is not for today.
Yeah.
But
All right, cool.
being a simp is pretty bad.
So
Why?
what's the current hot topic? Why are we talking about
I guess we have seen Mr. Akash Singh. For those who don't know, Akash Singh is a comedian, bigger in America. He has a podcast with Andrew Schultz, another big comedian.
Yeah.
And one of the, not trending topics, I would say, is, or one of the things that have come out from Akash is that he's being deemed as a simp for his wife.
Yeah.
And just to give some context, he has a podcast with Andrew Schultz. I've forgotten the name of it. But on their podcast, they had two other guys on their podcast called Myron and Fresh. They are the Fresh and Fit podcast.
Yeah.
They're like a manosphere, red pill kind of movement. Not that I don't really agree with it, but they were on Akash's podcast. Akash kind of ridiculed Myron for some of his views, some of his viewpoints of saying, oh, I don't date women from my own culture, whereas Akash is very much for that because he is explaining that is his roots. Why wouldn't you essentially date them?
Yeah.
And he's been with one woman, his wife, for his whole entire life and lost his virginity to her.
Could be quite cute.
Yeah, it could be quite cute. But there's been some twists and turns. He ridiculed, Myron a few years ago, I believe.
So Myron,
From Fresh and Fit podcast, from the Fresh and Fit podcast.
but Myron, he's the one who's saying he doesn't want to have a relationship within his own
Yeah.
culture. Is he what's his background?
He's American, but he's black.
Okay,
so
cool.
I'm assuming he doesn't date black women,
Okay.
essentially, from what he said. And now basically Myron is reciprocating and publicly humiliating Akash based on some of the things that his wife has said on her own content, through videos that have emerged, and through her own podcast, which we can touch upon some of the most interesting things. But
Okay,
from
that's
that,
good. I've got some questions here.
yeah,
So old Myron, he went on to our boy
Akash, our brown boy,
right. But all right,
Akash Jeet.
Akash Bhai, right? Right. So I thought there might be boys in it, like
That's what I would have thought, but Akash kind of made him to look a bit stupid than the way he called him out, saying you guys are losers for your views. Basically, he said that publicly on their podcast, calling them their views quite like in a loser manner. So, you know, he kind of attacked them rather than seeing them as
It was
boys.
a friendly host.
Yeah, and Myron has basically been waiting for a moment to return the grudge. He's been holding this grudge for a while, and he's found the perfect moment to deliver and land. And you
He's
know,
landed, hasn't he?
Myron hasn't been the only one landing. There's been a lot of other people landing and giving their opinions. And you know, here we are today as two brown men, our fellow Jeet.
Okay, bye.
He's not making us brown men look in a good light, should we say.
Okay.
And I think we want to kind of review, analyze the situation, and try and take some actionable steps to not be a simp Jeet in this world.
All right, cool.
So some of the things that he's been seen doing that has kind of torn him down, let's just give some more context. His wife, Jasleen, is 9 years younger than him, firstly. They got married when met when Akash was 31, she was 22.
Okay.
Bit weird in my opinion, but apparently Akash was a virgin when they met, and he lost his virginity to his wife, which, you know, is very sweet.
Yeah.
And his wife claimed her similar innocence, but videos have emerged of her talking about her popping her pussy, if that's the way to put it, which she literally states herself, in white boy frat houses.
Ah, cool.
She also is on a podcast with her friend where she talks about her sexual activity of pleasuring herself with her vibrator. And she asks her co-host, what porn does she watch? And her co-host tells her that she just thinks about her husband. And Jasleen replies back saying she could never think about her husband when fingering or pleasuring herself. She must watch some sort of porn.
Yeah.
She's also spoken about how she wants an orgy with her co-host and her husband because she feels that he is so beautiful, more beautiful than her own husband, and must have a 10-inch.
Okay. So I've got multiple.
But we're not stopping there. We're not
I've got
stopping
multiple
there.
questions,
We haven't
I
stopped
suppose.
there just yet. She has got videos of her disrespecting her husband on TikToks and social media. There's numerous videos of him trying to kiss her on the lips, and she's always swerving these kisses of affection, unfortunately. Maybe she doesn't like PDA, some people don't, but you know. And she's always showing off what her husband has bought her, like these shopping hauls. I believe there's some Birkin bags going for 20, 30,000 pounds.
For some.
And she's complaining that her husband's always working, never at home, and you know, he's never doing enough for her. So this is some of the content. We'll put some in the video just to give you guys some context, but hopefully this helps set the scene. What are your questions?
Okay, cool. All right, so he's 31, she's 22, yeah?
I don't think right now, but when they met,
When they met, yeah?
I got married, there was a 9-year age gap.
Do we know how old they are now?
I think it's a few years later. I think it's about 35, 36.
Okay, so it's not like 10 years into the relationship.
Nah.
Are they married?
Yeah, they're married.
Okay,
They've
they're
been married
married.
for a few years.
Okay, they've been married for a few years. How did they meet? Because as
I think
you're
they met-
31 years old. Currently.
They.
You're 30.
Yeah.
So, would you do you meet a lot of 22-year-olds?
No,
Okay,
no,
so
I
how
don't-
do you think they met?
Sorry?
How do you think they met?
Apparently they met at one of his shows. So he's a comedian before he was famous. So apparently or something, I think they met at a show somehow, or some sort of show, from what I heard.
And they met. This was my next question. Was he famous? Was she famous? Was he
No, I
famous
don't believe
at
he was
the time?
famous then, actually.
Okay,
So it's
so-
before the fame, which I'll give a...
Before the fame then. Okay. And now, obviously, it goes into question of, is this Akash Bai's first girlfriend?
He has had some relationships before, apparently. Apparently he's done some physical stuff, but he's never lost his virginity.
Okay.
So Akash Bai has...
Yeah, right. Yeah, so it's a bit of a... It's a bit confusing as...
I think if we put the clips up, we'll hopefully give a bit more context to anyone viewing who is not up to date with the
seamless. Yeah, yeah, no,
situation,
but
but
like,
it is very disturbing.
but like, obviously they're married. Maybe the whole like her swerving the kisses.
It's the public disrespect, I think. It's just a bad image for you just feel bad for a successful brown man to be doing well for himself and then seeing getting played off like that. I think that's the thing.
Yeah.
If one of my friends was doing well for themselves, they worked hard, they built a career, and they just got this entitled woman that they're married to publicly shaming them, publicly humiliating them, publicly disrespecting them.
Oh yeah, going on to another podcast and saying what she said is very
If
that's
you're
very
if
different.
you're a newlywed guy, if your wife said any of these things to you publicly,
I'll be like, yeah, I'll be like,
how would you feel?
I don't think I'll
If
take
you're
it well
public, yeah,
seriously.
if you've got public, it's not a one off. It's not one off. It's multiple times. And the thing is, her social media personality is being built on disrespecting her husband. That's what
do you
she
mean?
knows. She's got multiple TikToks where she's kind of multiple TikToks, multiple clips from her podcast, kind of insulting her husband. Like there's another clip where her and her co-host are actually with her husband and the husband that she wants to have an orgy with. They're on a podcast together and they're kind of like, "Oh, you don't do this, you don't do that."
But okay, so firstly, one thing is, it's good to be kind in this world, and if you're gonna be kind, well, if you're gonna be a dick, right, try at least be kind to your own spouse. Do you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, they're probably the ones who deserve the kindness from you.
Yeah, of course.
But she's clearly just disrespecting him and not being very kind at all, right?
But then it begs the question, is she with him because she wants to be with him or what he has? And has he had to buy her love? Going back to
But he
being a
didn't
simp.
have that originally.
But I guess as that kind of grew, he kind of, I obviously don't know the ins and outs, but as that kind he could have been doing it to some degree when they first met in terms of buying her love in certain ways and
Yeah.
not always financially, but to her emotional needs and, bending over backwards for her and in various different ways. But
But sometimes, no,
I think it's just bad for men and what we are trying to develop as we, having to buy a woman's love is never a good place to be. Irregardless of the external image, just you as a man in an individual place, knowing you only got that woman because you've had to bend over backwards is not a healthy relationship to be in. And no matter how good looking a woman is, you as a man need to always respect yourself.
Yeah, respect yourself. Have
Respect,
yourself.
self-worth and self-respect. If a woman needs to be bought financially, emotionally, socially, whatever way it is, she's not the one.
But okay, but like his case is slightly different though, because from my understanding is they met when actually he didn't have these finances, right? But they've kind of he's grown, like they've got together and he's grown. They've both grown as a couple, right?
Yeah, but she could have seen him as he didn't have the finances, but he's going to be successful.
All right,
He's going to be successful. So let me see where this goes.
all right. But now,
And she's also said that she was a virgin. So obviously he's thinking, yeah, I've got this 22-year-old virgin. I'm a 31-year-old guy. Like, yeah. He's got a 22-year-old young girl. She's pretty. I'm 31. I'm a virgin. And this girl wants to be with me. Yeah, why not? That's a win. What is he losing? Nothing.
yeah,
Nothing.
yeah. But sometimes like, yeah, it's a very.
Isn't there a
tricky
value
situation.
of being respected as a man? Like,
Oh,
how do you
yeah,
feel like if the term pay pig? Pay pig has been thrown around to what he is in terms of letting her buy Birkin bags, shopping halls, designer clothes, and still her asking for more. These are financial agreements that you would see on OnlyFans between.
Yeah, but like, what it sounds like from my point of view is that she doesn't see him as a husband at this moment in time, right?
Yeah.
I'm not fully. I've seen a few clips of it. I've not fully done the research on it, but yeah, it sounds like yeah, it's she's. But then again, there's an age gap
age
as well.
gap.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the biggest things about this situation, because for me, I think 22, getting married at 22 is kind of pretty young, right?
Because I'm 30. I could never date a girl that young.
And so
The immaturity,
the maturity
yeah.
level is going to be
I've
different.
dated some girls who are a few years younger than me, and I feel there was an immaturity gap.
Yeah.
Maturity gap. So going even
Younger than that.
younger than that it doesn't make sense.
But then,
Maybe that's reflected in her
yeah,
in her behavior and her actions.
so-
but at the same time, your woman is a representation of you as a man.
that is true.
And being publicly ridiculed isn't a good look. Like, yes, you are a comedian, and yes, you can have a joke, you can have a little laugh, but when
At this
her,
moment in time, he's being publicly humiliated.
yeah, the only reason why she's known is for that purpose. Her social media following isn't that big.
So this is, to be fair, this is the first time I've heard of these two people. But yeah, no. But so how does he come out of this situation? Because in our culture, like,
He's tried throwing shots back. He tried throwing some clips back at Myron because they were having this Twitter beef, X beef, should I call it? So Myron was posting on X. Akash tried firing back, but then Myron basically buried him, and he hasn't come back since. I'll show you after, and I'll put it up on the screen. But he hasn't replied in about 3 weeks. He hasn't posted any sort of tweet in 3 weeks. He's just been buried. I think that is the real issue here. How does he come back? People are saying that, Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith, the entanglement situation.
yeah,
They're saying it's worse than that. Because at least Jada gave him public affection. At least she said, I love him. At least she gave him a kiss and a hug. At least they have like,
but
they said this is-
Will Smith
this
and
is
they didn't have an open relationship.
well, it came to the understanding that they had some sort of open relationship, and they publicly, said it, got into some sort of entanglement. But I don't know how he comes back from this, personally, being,
Yeah,
I think the first thing is I'm not saying this in a disrespectful way, but being a virgin at 31 as a man is a red flag. Unless you are living a life for God and God's purpose only, I think being a virgin at 31 as a man is a red flag. It shows that you lack success with women, and if you have sex available to you by 31 years old, you are going to experience it. Come on, like, you do not have
you
the skill
said
set.
he's had previous relationships.
He's had previous relationships apparently, but he's waited for having sex.
But yeah, so maybe he was waiting till he got married.
But he's not a hyper-religious guy.
There's still sometimes people do chastity, so they wait until they get married, which is actually like
I think it's a red flag. I don't know.
yeah. But no, I don't. It depends what the situation is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as you said, unless you're giving your life to God, but technically,
But he
it's
waited for
waiting
someone
to get married. Yeah.
But he waited for someone who was a virgin as well, who said she was a virgin, but she's spoken about her experiences of popping her. She even spoke about how she had a date. A guy came home with her, and she wasn't going to do anything sexually, but she woke up and her butthole was hurting. She said this openly.
Yeah, it's a bit too much to.
To be put in online.
Yeah, like sometimes you need a bit of self-respect as well, of what you're kind of saying about yourself online, and especially if you're married, and respecting your partner. Because, like, if I kind of, if it was I was found in myself, I wouldn't be happy at all, and I'd be like, you can't be, and I wouldn't disrespect. If it was me talking like that, I wouldn't want to disrespect my wife like that, and she doesn't deserve to be disrespected like that.
Yeah, exactly. You're married. You're like, whatever you put out there is a reflection of the other person.
Yeah.
The way you speak about them is a reflection of them and yourself and your relationship. And it kind of goes on to the question of the woman that you marry is maybe one of the most important decisions that you make. in your
100%.
life? Like, how important is that decision, especially as a married man yourself?
Yeah, no,
How important can that decision be in your life?
well, massive. It's literally probably the biggest decision because you're going to spend your whole life with that person. And I've said it previously before on this podcast that actually you're a team together. Like you both are pushing each other to do better, and you want to grow as a couple.
See, they sound like they're on different paths. He's working really hard. He's making a lot of money. She's just at home, kind of doing X, Y, Z, trying to have. I don't know what she's doing. She's not making much money from what I've seen. So you're not on the same. You're on very different. Such a misalignment in the lives that they're living.
Okay, so basically, she wants. It sounds like she wants a divorce, but and a big payout.
She ain't gonna divorce.
But he doesn't because he's gonna have to give her a payout.
I don't know if that is the case, but it's an agreement.
What's an agreement?
They're married. Yeah. She financially benefits, and he's got a wife that's 9 years younger than him.
So it's so it's not a marriage then. It's an agreement.
It's like an indirect agreement. She knows. He maybe thinks it's love. She knows what she's in it for, though.
But surely in that agreement,
she knows what she's in it for.
Whatever it is, you could be like, in that agreement, you can't be going online and disturbing me like that. You're literally. But like, what has she got to gain out of this? If she disrespects him and ruins his career, then she's not going to have the money in return, is she?
But if he divorces her, she's entitled to half of what he has. Technically, no.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So is she not gonna go from that angle and divorce? That's why she's probably being not very nice to him.
You think? Maybe.
And to aim for get a divorce, but actually to get half of his assets. But actually, he doesn't want to do that.
I never thought about it that way, but
no.
Maybe this is the trigger. Public humiliation ritual. So he divorces me.
Yeah.
Could be a good little trigger, but I guess the woman that you marry is going to be the most. I'm not married, but I know from previous relationships that when you're with someone, you are spending a lot of time with them naturally, right?
Yeah.
Daily, and you are only like you pick up on their habits, you pick up on their routines, and if that person doesn't have positive,
good
morals, you're going to pick up on that as well. So
you become the average of the other 5 people that you surround yourself with.
The woman you marry is like she's gonna be the mother of your kids as well. She's gonna have a big impact on how your kids grow up because she's gonna be the mother. It just isn't as simple. You have to think about so many things. I feel.
Yeah.
When you're, it's not just about this woman's 9 years younger than me. She's a virgin and she's super hot and she's in her prime years. It's like, no, how is this? There's so much more to think about. Like it's not just like
a relationship is much deeper than just physical attraction and age gaps. But like it sounds like he was looking for that trophy wife.
Yeah, probably this young, hot. She's not even that. She's not that. In my opinion, that attractive.
Yeah. I'm very excited to see these clips. Can we see them now?
We can't. So Tesh here has just reviewed some of the clips to give him more context of what I was talking about. We will put some on the screen. We'll try to link them in the bio to give you full context of what we're talking about. But what are your short thoughts on that? Would you feel comfortable if your wife was talking in that way about you and she was talking about my 10-inch cock?
Okay, firstly, I think some of the scripts, some of the videos, it comes out across like very satire, like she's taking the piss, right?
No, that's too much. That's too nice. It's too much. Right? It's too consistent. She's too point with it.
And some of the stuff is, firstly,
she's like Erling Haaland. She's too consistent.
No, right. So yes, it's like, and sometimes I think some of it's kind of clickbait, but the biggest red flag I saw was seeing that when he proposed video. So he reproposes.
They're already married, by the way.
Yeah, reproposes.
So he reproposes.
All right.
Would you repropose to Bijou?
Maybe, I don't know, like, but that's not the question. Right?
Okay.
But like how she kind of avoids his kiss, as it was meant to be kind of a
Yeah, but I guess the whole kind of public PDA, I think in Asian families, I can kind of understand if they were kind of their mums were there or something, so maybe they did. But she forcefully swerved it. It wasn't like he went in for the cheek; he went in for the lips.
yeah,
He went in
yeah.
for the front.
So I think some of the stuff she does come across quite materialistic. Obviously, I don't know her to kind of, but yeah, in some of the content I've just watched, she comes kind of. But I think, and the thing is, there's a significant age gap there, and potentially she's showing her age there.
Women are meant to be more mature, but
Well, there's a 10-year age gap, 9-year age gap, isn't there? So, yeah, it's a bit of a
would you be happy if your wife was presenting you like that?
no, definitely not.
Would you have reeled it in a lot earlier?
Yeah, definitely.
Would you have called it just satire? Would you have excused it with just satire?
Well, no, I think some of the videos were satire though.
But if your wife was
But
still
like the videos
if
that
your-
we're
if-
talking about,
if
right?
your wife was, but if your wife was rage baiting at your expense, you can rage bait, but she's rage baiting at your expense.
But like
To put you down.
One of the videos is my husband's is out buying being a provider.
Okay, that's
that,
fine.
That was clearly satire. I don't think there was nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that video.
But the other ones,
Yeah, but that's just that's what we're talking about though. But some of them are actually okay. That is clearly satire. But this other guy has kind of used these videos as kind of a weapon against him. But some of them I don't are okay. And if that was me in his position, I would definitely not be happy, and I would not be letting things slide. I'll be obviously having discussions.
wouldn't gotten this far.
Definitely, like, but at the end of the day, it comes down
But your
to,
wife,
it comes
you
down
know
to-
your wife wouldn't do you in that way though already.
yeah, because we have respect for each other.
Yeah, public respect,
Like,
and clearly they don't have that.
well, both public and private respect.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, we don't act like we're in public how we act when we're alone. Do you know what I mean? We don't act differently. So, yeah, I do feel bad for Akash Bai, to be honest with you, but
He's a simp G. He's a simp G though, isn't it?
yeah, definitely a simp. Yeah, he falls into this category
Yeah.
that we described.
I guess the question is, can a woman be a simp? Can a woman be one? Technically,
Yeah, it's just like basically the definition of a
it's not limited to gender, but usually it is men because of the way men think and feel. Because men think with what's between their legs and not their brain, and there's a less availability of the opposite gender for them. Women have a plethora of men to
But no.
choose from, but it may not be the men that they want because men will just automatically go for
But
them.
men can be disrespectful to their wives as well. They can easily be disrespectful to their wives.
But the woman wouldn't have to be disrespected to get their affection. If that makes sense.
Say that again, sorry.
The woman wouldn't have to be at the expense. The woman wouldn't disrespect herself to get affection from the man. It's less likely.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I don't think a woman would disrespect herself as much as a man would. A woman wouldn't disrespect herself as much as a man would to get their affection.
That's difficult to say. Do you know what I mean? Because everybody's different.
Yeah, I think majority.
You can't.
I think from what we've seen, there's more men who are simps than women. So across the board, it is a male problem. It is a problem for men.
It's not men. It's a problem for certain men.
Within for certain men, but I think you'd be surprised. Not all relationships are like this, but even when dating, you're not saying that you've had experiences with this or others, but you can try and overcompensate for a woman to see your worth. That is simping in a sense.
yeah, no,
to
no,
get
that's
a
true.
woman's
Yeah,
affect,
no, okay,
to
fair,
get a
yeah.
woman to give you some affection or just overcompensate in certain ways for you to be seen. Maybe she didn't reply to your message, so you try to overcompensate. That is like a form of
Simping.
simping. Yeah, you
Okay,
could
yeah,
say
yeah,
so.
yeah. No,
Like,
that
it could
makes
be in
sense.
moments, but having a consistent
Like,
act of that behavior makes you a
Akash
simp.
by, yeah,
It's
he's
too
not.
consistent. So how, to end this off, to men, any brown men watching this, all men, how would you not be a simp?
Um,
What's some actionable things?
actual things.
We have a married man here who's not a simp.
It's just
Number one is,
first, you got to choose the right person
yeah,
to marry first. Do you know what I mean? That is probably
very,
one of the biggest things, and make sure there's always kind of, you'd hope there's a respect between the two of you.
yep,
That should come as a common kind of courtesy. Like, if you getting married to someone, obviously you respect them and they respect you, and they wouldn't want to disrespect you, especially in public like she has.
and not just seeing you as a
A cash,
yeah, a pay pig.
a pay pig.
It's not transactional. There's actual,
Yeah. So, but this is kind of, unfortunately, it's a day and age that we live in. People have social media. They see X, Y, Z. They want to be seen having these kind of expensive, nice stuff, so they can post it on their socials, get a good following, and so forth. And but yeah, that's the generation we live in. It's completely different world from 20 years ago, but I think due to this situation and men also seeing like girls on social media and wanting that kind of
access.
access as well, you'll probably see more men becoming simps.
Yeah, there has. Obviously, with the rise of OnlyFans, the rise of social media, women have access to so much. Men have access to so many more women that they lose their frame of who they are to get affection from these women.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I feel bad for old Okashbai, to be honest with you, but you need to get a backbone, basically.
Yeah, I think with that, men as a whole, we need to learn self-respect a bit. If a
Yeah, know your own worth.
if a woman doesn't show you interest, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But don't feel you need to beg or buy that affection from her, because it's a loser's game. She knows you're having to overcompensate what she would give to a guy that she actually likes.
Yeah,
That's what you're having to do.
yeah.
Like, a guy that she actually likes, she may sleep with on the first date, but you, my friend, have to overcompensate by taking to her nice places, by buying her the nice, whatever it is. You may get it, but you're just having to overcompensate to what she would give the
But then
guy
you're
that she
not
actually
seeing
likes.
your true worth.
Yeah, you're not seeing your true worth. You shouldn't have to do those things
Yeah,
to be with a woman.
yeah.
And men need to learn that. Don't think with what's between your legs. Think with what's between your head.
The other thing is I feel like a simp is a person trying to make someone fall in love with them, when actually love is actually just a natural
yeah.
occurring thing that if you just be yourself, like, and it's meant to be, they're gonna end up falling in love with you. So it's just kind of, yeah,
Comes from insecurity, I guess, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trying to get someone to like you.
yeah. But that's the other thing, isn't it? Really, some people are beauty is.
In the eye of the beholder.
Yeah, and it's just not.
That's so gay.
And it's just not skin deep, is it? Do you know what I mean? But that's what he wanted. Okashbai wants a trophy wife, right? But actually, this person's completely disrespecting him and so forth and line. So actually, it's kind of
Beauty isn't just about this young, like, not what men get told, but like that trophy wife. Innit?
yeah, the trophy wife. It's actually the person that
Like, looks and attraction do matter, of course, but
I think having someone who's kind towards you, I think that's
Yeah.
probably. Would you? Well, let me put it in this way: would you date a 10 out of 10, but she was constantly mean to you and disrespecting you, or would you rather have a 5 out of 10, but is kind to you?
Can I have both? Can we merge them together?
Well, that's not the question, is it? But
Yeah, obviously, you would go for the person that treats you better
yeah.
and takes care of you better and looks out for you better.
But you would hope so though. But then actually, there's going to be like a lot of guys out there who would actually probably go for the 10 out of 10. To be honest with you.
The thing is, it depends, isn't it? If you think a girl's a 10 out of 10 and she can change her personality, like some of her traits can change, then cool. You could go for a 5 out of 10. She's a lovely person, but then physically she could improve if she like went to the gym, if she took care of herself more. So there are both sides to it. It just depends what you feel. But I don't think you can change people internally, being honest.
Yeah, no, it's a tough world.
It's better to have like a 7 out of 10. I think a 7 out of 10 looks wise, but a good personality is a happy medium.
Yeah, I'll let you have that.